Okay, so every now and then a new piece of gear comes along that gets me really fired up and excited about playing guitar. Sometimes it's a new amp or a new guitar, but more often than not, it's a new pedal that does something completely different than anything else I've ever played or heard before. And this happened to me most recently this past Winter NAMM. That was my initial reaction to playing the Beatronics Swarm for the first time, and it was honestly one of my favorite things I saw at all of Winter NAMM 2019. So a couple of weeks ago, when Beatronics reached out and offered to send me a Swarm to use on the channel, I immediately said yes and jumped on it. So today, we're gonna take a look at the weirdest pedal I've ever owned. This is it. The Beatronics Swarm. Now, as you can probably tell by looking at it, this is not your typical fuzz or overdrive or distortion box. I mean, the weirdness even starts with the names of the controls. There's no overdrive or volume or sustain control. It's Queen and Drone and Species and Flight and Sting and Worker. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely on brand. I'll give them that. Now, I'm trying to sit here and think of a way to verbally describe what this pedal does, and I just can't. The reality is you just need to hear it. Now, despite what you may be thinking, this video is not an advertisement for Beatronics or me telling you that you should absolutely go out and buy this pedal immediately, because the reality is, I don't think this pedal's for everybody. What this thing does is so unique and specific that I think it appeals to a pretty specific type of guitar player. I am that type of guitar player. I love stuff like this. Weird, crazy, out there, wild, out of control distortion fuzz tones that make your amp sound like it's about to explode. I love that. But I realize not all guitar players are like me. There's no question this thing is weird and it's hard to control. When I was making the track for the beginning of the video, I was trying to dial in tones and get it to do something that I was hearing in my head, and the reality was I kind of couldn't. I would twist a knob and the pedal would do something completely different than it had done before. And that's the beauty of this thing. The uncontrollability is inspiring. The reason I love weird pedals like the Swarm is because I look at them as inspiration boxes. There's something that you plug into and they start making noise, and whatever noise is being made is inspiring me to play something completely different than I normally would. Now, would I use this pedal for every gig or recording session I do? Absolutely not. It's too weird, it's too out there. Some of the artists that I work with would probably run for the hills as soon as I clicked this thing on and started spitting gnarly, weird, synthy fuzz tones out of my amp. But it's one of those things, when it's right, it's right. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to break down the Swarm. For those of you that might be interested in buying one, we're gonna take a look at the controls and what they do and how they affect the overall tone of this pedal. Signal chain today is my Novo Ceres J going into my 1964 Gibson Skylark, and my dry tone sounds like this. But the first thing to know about this pedal is it really doesn't matter what type of guitar or even what type of amp you're playing through. The Swarm is going to impose its sound on top of everything you're doing. I literally didn't notice any difference in tone between this and my Les Paul or a Strat. So you can sort of think of the Swarm as an octave harmony fuzz synth pedal. I think that's the best way I can describe it. And it's actually pretty easy to use once you figure out the controls and what they do. So the two knobs on top here, the Queen and the Drone, those are controlling the harmony level. The Queen is the harmony level itself, and the Drone is the sub-harmony level, so you can have a harmony underneath. With both knobs all the way down, it's essentially just a straight-ahead fuzz pedal. As I bring the Queen up, you're starting to hear the harmony that I currently have selected, and as I bring the Drone up, you get the sub-harmony coming through. Now, how do you control the harmony that's coming through? That is with the Species knob here. There are 9 different settings. Each different setting is a slightly different interval, and it'll give you different tones. Now, the two most unique controls on this pedal, and the ones that, quite frankly, I still can't really wrap my head around, are the Flight and the Sting controls here and here. And the reason they're so tough to kind of figure out is because they're interactive. Depending on where you have one set, it's going to affect the other in a weird way. It kind of doesn't make sense to me, but let's see what they do. Okay, I've been playing with this pedal for like 4 or 5 days, and I've not had it make that sound before. I don't know, like, I don't know, but it's cool. The other cool thing about a pedal like this is it's not just for guitar. You can put bass through it, or synth, or maybe put a vocal through it and just see what happens. Actually, that might be kind of cool.
That's the clean tone. There we go. There we go. Attention, Kmart shoppers. We've got a Blue Light Special on aisle 2. Again, that's aisle 3. We've got a Blue Light Special on Microsphere Home and Kitchenware.
Now, one of the reasons I love making videos like this for this YouTube channel is because I want to help inform and educate people when it comes to gear and effects and tone, and help you get the tone that you have in your head out of the speakers in your rig. And part of that is recommending whether or not you should think about buying a piece of gear that I'm talking about. And in this case, I can't recommend this thing for everybody. It's too unique. It's too out there. I don't think every guitar player out there will love this pedal like I do. But if you're like me and you like to experiment with sounds, you like wild, crazy, out of control fuzz tones, you like something that's a little unpredictable and you find some inspiration in that, I would highly recommend you check out the Swarm. The build quality is fantastic on it. I love the design. The whole Beatronics aesthetic is awesome. But overall, the sound is totally unique and totally its own thing. And if you're into that, I don't think you can beat this thing. So there you go. That's my look at the Beatronics Swarm. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is sort of my version of a pedal demo. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments section down below. Also, let me know what you think about the Swarm. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you going to buy one, or would you never come within 100 yards of one? Let me know in the comments section down below as well. If you'd like to support the channel directly, check out the links in the description box down below. You can pick up a t-shirt or a coffee mug, which really helps me out in making these videos. Or you can check out the Green Room. It's a monthly subscription with 3 different levels where you can be a part of the private forum going on over there. You can download my original music, like the track that was made at the beginning of this video, or sign up for one-on-one Skype sessions with me each month. All that information is linked down below. I'm Rhett Shull. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and remember, there is no plan B.